While we wait for the final box score, I do have a couple of notes from the game just concluded. This marks the sixth time in this tournament the number 5 seed has advanced to the championship game. First time since 2006. Ironically, that was also Bradley when the Braves beat number 1 seed Wichita State in the semis. Bradley had at least 9 block shots in the game. We're waiting for the final total. The record for a tournament game is 14, but I believe the second highest number ever was 11, so we'll see if that was reached. The Braves have won 8 of the last 10 games. They improved to 19-14, advancing to the championship game for the first time since 2006. Bradley improves his tournament record to 34-37, 2-9 against the number 1 seed in this tournament. Second win was today. And this is the first win for Bradley over Loyola in this tournament. The Ramblers had a 3-game winning streak snapped. They fall to 20-13. Loyola sees this MVC tournament record slip to 7-5 and now 3-1 against Bradley. Remember, silence your cell phones if you haven't done so already. We're going to have an opening statement from the coach and then questions for anyone on the dais. We will not dismiss the student athletes unless the questions become very coach heavy. And we have 2 mic holders. Gina's over here, Karen's over here. Get their attention and get in the rotation, or me. And if you have a follow-up, don't let them leave your side, and we'll get you both questions. As advertised, the winning Braves are here. They're in their first final since 2006. They will play the winner of Drake and Northern Iowa. Head coach Brian Wardle is with us. He's flanked by Nate Cannell and Elijah Childs. We're going to have Brian open up with a statement. Then we'll have questions for all 3 Braves. Brian, please.
It was a great basketball game. I got a lot of respect for Porter, his staff, that program. Those 2 senior guards they have are winners and very good players, but this isn't a shock to us. I think it's only a shock to everybody here besides us up here. We expected to win this game. We were fully confident in our game plan. If we executed it, that we'll be in position to win. And we just made some big plays. I mean, it was a hard-fought game. Both teams were running on fumes. Legs weren't there. Shots weren't going in. Shots at the rim. But it just kind of came down to heart and finding ways to get loose balls. 50-50 balls, and I just thought we just battled to the very end, and we made enough plays to win. But it was a great college basketball game. Very proud of these guys. Another step for our program, and but we got one more game to play, and that's what we came to St. Louis for this year, was to put ourselves in this position and have an opportunity to win a championship.
First question's on the left. To go, please.
Just wondering if you can elaborate on what you started with, saying it's not a shock to you. What have you seen from the team, maybe especially lately, that made you feel so confident going into this game?
Well, we won 8 out of our last 10. I liked, even in our losses, I thought we ran into some teams on the road that were playing very well. And I thought we could always play smarter against Loyola. Last game at Loyola, I thought they played really well. They shot the ball tremendous. I mean, those seniors were kind of on a mission to end the year at home, and we made a lot of mistakes too early in that game, mental mistakes, which I thought today we did not, and we set the tone that this was going to be a defensive battle. It was going to come down to rebounding and defense, and when you have that foundation where you're a competitive group and you can defend and rebound even when the shots aren't going in, the threes, even we missed a lot of bunnies at the rim, I thought too. You have something to fall back on, and I was proud of how our guys kept battling, kept their heads. And then guys made some big shots. Nate hit that big 3, but Daryl had a couple threes. Eli hit a big pull-up, got a couple offensive rebounds. D'Lo was just doing D'Lo things out there and getting loose balls. And that's what it takes to win this time of year, and we were able to make those plays.
Coach, Coach, I want to ask you about your defense on Towns, what you and your team did strategically to have him miss 14 field goal attempts.
Well, I thought we did a great job of going under the ball screens. We wanted him to shoot contested mid-range if we could. At the end of the game, I thought we did a great job of switching ball screens on him and trying to take Kruckwig's dives away, but just have high hands on him at all times. Try to take every time he drove right, we wanted to load and flood to the ball. and come from the weak side and contest shots as best we could. And I thought we were, I don't know how many blocks we had. We had 9. I thought we were really active on the weak side, help defense. But Towns is a great player. I mean, we definitely, I thought, did a good job on him. But some shots when you're playing guys like these guys up here, sometimes they just miss some shots. But we never let them get in rhythm, and that was a big key.
Brian, I got one question for you, and then a question for both Eli and Nate. Almost half your roster is from outside of the United States. So my question to you, Brian, is how do you find these guys? And then for Eli and Nate, how do you guys build the chemistry when you have so many foreign-born players?
Let's go to student athletes first, Nate, and then Elijah.
I think it's just camaraderie. I mean, we've just gotten to know each other so well. We got senior guys that have been here for so long. I mean, we were able to even go visit some of the places where a lot of guys are from. So, I mean, we're all one and the same, and we've just really become really a close team. Where'd you go? We went Europe to London and Amsterdam.
I think we just gel off the court. Just big thing, just gelling off the court. Then we hang off the court, and I think everybody just like everybody. We don't care about individual accolades. Everybody wants to win. We all have a common goal. So when everybody just have a common goal and stay focused on that, then come out with wins like this. So.
And Brian, where do you find them?
Well, all over. I think it's when I took over the job, it was a little late in recruiting, and we had to fill 8 or 9 scholarships. So at that point, there weren't a lot of options necessarily in the States. So we went internationally, and then we built relationships over there. We built a network, and it's kind of fed off each other. Bradley University is a very diverse university, tremendous education, great campus for our international students. They feel very comfortable there. They feel family-oriented there. And I think the success and their feelings have now spread out over in Europe and all over, that this is a great university for young men and young women to come to outside of America. So we just kind of built a little network, and they're all unselfish guys. The gratitude is through the roof with my international guys. They love these settings. They don't get these settings back home a whole lot, and these opportunities. And I thought Luke Van Bray, D'Lo just laid it on the line. Luke, man, our seniors just laid it on the line today. And it wasn't perfect basketball. I told them we don't have to play perfect today, but we need to talk, and we need to be physically and mentally tough for 40 minutes to win this game. And I thought we did that.
Right here.
For Nate, wanted to ask you about your three-point shooting, and I guess 2 questions. One is, growing up in the area, did you practice shooting in the backyard or somewhere, like postseason shots for Bradley? And then second of all, can you describe your mindset heading into this game?
I don't even know if I believed I would have been at Bradley when I was a little kid. So, but I mean, I think just the mindset coming in. I didn't have a really good game last game, but guys just stayed positive with me, and we're just like, you're just gonna make the next shot. And credit to my teammates who just kept getting me open today and just finding me, throwing it to me right in my pocket. So just from there, I mean, that's what really did it for me.
Coach Wardle, yesterday you spoke about how over here.
Gotcha.
Yesterday you spoke about how Elijah was a very unique defensive player who could guard 1 to 5 and wasn't necessarily recognized. With his energy and impact tonight, offensively and defensively, I'm curious from what you think and what Elijah thinks about his ceiling going forward.
I think with Elijah, I mean, he's a sophomore here, and he's got to do a lot of things for us, offensively and defensively. So he can switch. He can guard a point guard to a 5-man. We take advantage of that at times. He's a very talented offensive player, especially when he's been working hard on his perimeter jump shots and his perimeter game. It's paying off now a little bit, and he's a great one-on-one post player. So, but what I'm more proud about Elijah is just he's matured throughout the year of handling the ups and downs of a game, and it's a lot of pressure. And I think we're trying to help him not put too much on his shoulders. Just be you. I try to tell him, just do what you do, Elijah, and it's going to be good. And it was good tonight. I mean, he had 5 assists, double-double, 2 blocks, a steal. And there's even better basketball ahead for him. And I know it, and he knows it. So as long as we keep maturing and working hard and his work ethic is increased, I think that's the biggest thing. I know Nate's a gym rat, and Elijah's become a gym rat. And I think that's what's fun about our program right now. We got a lot of gym rats. We do. We don't talk it. We actually do it. And I think that's helped his career and for him to improve so much from freshman to sophomore year.
Right here in front.
Elijah, congratulations on your double-double again.
Thank you.
You guys really limited Krutwig today, just 6 points. What'd you do inside to try and limit him? He's had a great year.
We just play team defense. We didn't want him to back down us, give him 3 or 4 dribbles because we knew he can hurt us if he had time and enough space. So we just played team defense. We had great help defense. I think guys came over and rotated. I think we had 9 block shots. So we just rotate and just play team defense. That's the biggest thing.
Question on the aisle right here.
This is for Coach. You mentioned going up against Towns and Custer. Now that their careers are potentially over, just hope you could speak to the impact they've had on the league and what it was like going up against those guys.
Oh, they're great competitors. And the intangibles matter. Toughness is a talent. It's not everyone is tough. Those 2 guys are tough. It's a talent. And intangibles, the leadership, the hard work ethic, the willingness to be unselfish and sacrifice, all those things matter. And you can tell their success at Loyola has been a lot because of those 2. They obviously got some other good players, but when you got guys willing to sacrifice, and I have them too. I got guys, Daryl's in the huddle saying, let's get Eli, post up, we're going to you. Nate's in there saying, D-Lo, do that. I mean, when you have that unselfishness, it's fun to coach, and you can do some good things.
Kirk?
Nate, Brian mentioned you're a gym rat, and I know, your career throughout high school, you had that reputation throughout the area. When did you start establishing that relationship with the Bradley coaching staff, and what was it that eventually sold you on this being the place that you needed to go and could be a part of rebuilding the program?
I think right when Coach Wardle got the job, they started recruiting me, and Coach and I just started build that relationship. And Coach Bargan recruited me, and they were just at all my AAU tournaments, and I can just tell that they were just invested in me, and they knew I could just make an impact on the team. So, really it was just the coaches and the relationship and just being close that really sold me.
Back to Kirk here.
Yeah, this is for both Nate and Eli. You guys have beaten Loyola now 3 times in the last 13 months, essentially, and played them very tough. What is it that has convinced you guys, particularly as you've been building the program, that you can compete at that level and then overcome and beat them?
Elijah first, please.
This coaching staff draws up a great game plan, and then we know if we follow the game plan every game, and especially this game, we follow the game plan, we knew we can come out with the win. But these coaching staff, my teammates, we just instill in confidence in everybody. We don't get down, we don't get too up. Coach always says stay level-headed, and I think that's what we do, and come out with wins.
Can you repeat the question?
How do you beat Loyola 3 times in 13 months when no one else can?
Just credit to the guys. We're just tough individuals. There's guys who are just willing to lay it on the line. We knew, our season could potentially be ended. So, we just didn't want to have that same feeling. And, we just really stuck together down there in the end.
Question on the left.
Coach, as you noted, you guys blocked 9 shots and you altered quite a few also. The officials kind of let everyone play, it seemed like, today. It
was great.
Did that play a role maybe in your guys being more willing to take chances on challenging shots as the game went on?
Yeah, I think we were jumping vertical. It was an athletic game. Let the athletes be athletes out there, and I loved how it was being played. Both teams, I thought. No one really got to the foul line. We were good with that. I think players like that too. Now, it can be a little bit of a grind offensively, especially when you got 2 disciplined defensive teams. These are both team defenses out there, guys protecting each other, having each other's back. And so it could be a low-scoring game. But I liked, in the first half, I loved our pace. Even though we were turning the ball over, we got a little overly aggressive and wild. I thought we got Loyola playing that way with us, and that's what we wanted. And, second half we tried to maintain it. It was a little tougher with our legs, but protect the paint. Protect the paint. As good as shooters as they have, they create so much with paint touches, and we wanted to protect that paint.
Anything else for the Bradley Braves? All right, gentlemen, we'll
Thank
see
you.
you Sunday afternoon.